Today, 5 useful tips for designing your next minimal logo design project. So if you love minimal logo design, you really do need to tune into today's video. As designers, it's important to have a website to show off our portfolio of work. Bookmark offers the most straightforward and quickest way to generate an awesome website without even having to write down a single line of code, and all completed in a matter of minutes. Check out the link in the description below to learn more about Bookmark and design your website today. Subtle logo designs ensure simplicity, and it's a fairly basic concept, but it's super useful and relevant in branding today. If you have a focused attitude and you bring attention to one specific type of branding, then it becomes easier for people to recognize a design. If people recognize a design, then it becomes familiar and stays in the minds of the consumer, and this is the absolute most crucial objective of any brand or logo design. Minimalism and simplicity achieve this if they're done properly. The first tip for creating a simple and minimal logo design is to bring a symbol into the logo. The symbol should be relevant to the brand, but in a very simple and minimal manner. So maybe take an object or a concept that relates to the brand and then incorporate that into the logo type or the symbol in a tactful manner. This is a very clever and surefire way to result in a clean and minimal logo design if it's done correctly. As with any logo design, the process is needed where you start working on paper first and brainstorm down your ideas, subsequently developing those ideas into concepts. Now, I personally feel this is the best way and best method for logo designing, and it helps to come up with clever and cool concepts for minimal logo designs. Later this week I have a video all about a neat piece of software which is going to help you and your branding workflow, so stay tuned for that later this week. The next tip for a minimal and simple logo design is kind of 2 tips built into one, but try and stay away from using gradients for your minimal logo design projects. I must add that gradients can work for minimal logo designs in specific situations. However, gradients do not appear simple by nature. They give depth and a kind of 3D feature which really does detract away from a simple logo design. It is often a good idea to produce your logo in both a gradient and also a flat design solution. That is if you want to use gradients, but in my opinion it's best to leave gradients away from minimal and simple logo designs. Also on this tip, the logo that you're working on should have just as much impact in grayscale as it does in full color. A simple or minimal logo that is effective would always rock in awesomeness if in black and white, just as it would in color. So when designing your logo, start off by creating it in black and white first, and have color in the back of your mind somewhere. The third tip for designing an effective minimal logo design is typography or logo type. The lettering you give to your logo is just as important as any symbol or icon, if not more. You might even want to go for a 100% typographic logo, which by the way is a great choice for any minimal design. Each and every font and each typeface has a kind of accent, and it's got its own vibe and its own personality. As you progress as a designer, this will become ever more apparent. But just try to think what the style of lettering would say if it had a voice. Would it be playful and funny? Would it crack a joke? Or would it be serious, affecting a high status or upper class accent? And if you do come to use a symbol or an icon with the type, make sure the voice of the typography matches the lettering and complements the style of the message. Again, this requires an eye for design and a creative flair. The fourth tip is handy when working on concepts or ideas for a client's logo. So today we're focusing on minimal logos, but even within those confines, it is a good idea to maybe create 3 different versions of the concept with differing degrees of simplicity. There is such a thing as being too abstract or too simple, and you do need the logo to be relevant to the brand. Exploring different levels of simplicity will help you achieve this. The 5th and final tip in today's video, covering minimal logo designing, is to utilize negative space. If done correctly, this is always a winner for minimal logo design, and it can make a very attractive design indeed. Again, you will need to get creative with it, and that always starts at the beginning with the design process on pen and paper, or at least it should do for the majority of designers. negative space logo designs appear clever and they add a degree of mystique and interest. However, you need to make sure to keep your design relevant and focused to the brand. Remember, if you want to keep boosting your awareness and your skills as a graphic designer, stay locked into Satori Graphics and subscribe for weekly graphic design content. And if you do find my content useful, then give it a share on social media if you want to help out my channel. But yeah, anyway guys, have a great day, and until next time, design your future today. Peace.